Hello to all fans of Naruto Lemon. I will post all Naruto Lemon Yaoi, Yuri, or Naruko Lemon stories only on the Boosty channel because Uncle YouTube condemns this. Therefore, I invite everyone who wants Naruto Lemon content to my Boosty channel. Good luck.
お前はどこまで見えている俺の死に様か
October 10th in the village of Kaina Hagakure, but it was night and in one bunker. The wife of the Hokage Kushina Uzumaki was giving birth, who gave birth to a beautiful daughter. Gold scarlet hair, although now it is just a piece of hair, and blue-purple eyes and 3 stripes on her cute cheeks, but misfortune happens. Kyubi breaks out and attacks Konoha names. Then the fourth Hokage carried jugs with a newborn daughter into the house and put them on the bed, and he himself gets ready and leaves to fight the fox. After a short battle on that, decides on the worst decision in his life, about which his heart aches and breaks, namely to seal the forests in his daughter Sunshine, who was born only an hour ago, and he is going to seal in this angel's demon, because of which she will suffer. But if this is not done, then the consequences will be colossal. Nato moved the forests outside the village and moved into the house for his daughter. When he approached the bed where his girls screwed up, then his heart sank, because they are so cute and good looking. Now Kushina hugged his daughter, protecting her from all troubles, but when she saw Minato, she realized what he was going to do. Kushina and Minato, why was she just born? Why do you want to make our Sunshine a Jinchuriki? She doesn't deserve this, Minato. I know, and my heart is breaking, and I really don't want to do this, but if I don't do this, the village will be destroyed. Ears okay, I'll help you, but if something happens to her, I will never forgive you, Minato. I will never forgive myself. If something happens to her, I will kill myself on the spot. After he moved them to the place where he moved the forests, and Kushina immobilized him with chains, Minato began to fold seals, and the god of death appeared behind his back. Minato, seal the dark half of the Kyubi into me, the light half into my daughter. God of death, you know the sacrifice. Minato, yes, god of death, okay, I'll take your soul. And the god of death sealed half of the forest in Minato. Because of this, the fox shrank by half. Minato summoned an altar and put his daughter there. He was distracted by the jackpot and well, and the fox took advantage of this and wanted to kill the baby. Us over the sophisticated quickly reacted and covered the daughter with themselves, and the claw pierced them through. Minato, well, why Kushina? I am her mother and I must protect her. Minato, them, well, what can I do with you? Tell her wish jackpot. And you need to hand, darling, be obedient and don't be sad. You should eat well, but a little, because you are a girl, and you should keep your figure. Make friends, you don't need many. Find those you can trust. Wash constantly, and remember the 3 prohibitions of shinobi, and did not approach Jira, and he is still that pervert and will immediately look at such a beauty as you, as many more. I want to tell you sweetly, and from this moment your life will change, and unfortunately not for the better, but I hope that everything will be fine with you. Minato, I'm sorry that I took your time. Minato, nothing but given hand. I just want to say, listen to your mother, chatterbox. After Minato folded the seals and summoned the toad sweater and left the keys to the seal, and the sheet was sealed. Names then died because he summoned the god of death. Kush, she was still alive because she is Uzumaki. She hugged her daughter to herself in her arm, cried because she understands that she will not see her parents anymore. But when her mother hugged her, she calmed down a little, and then a man in a mask came to the clearing. Kushina, who are you? She asked warily, and hugged her daughter even closer. Mask, don't worry. He took off the mask. It's me, Obito. Kushina, Obito, I'm glad you're alive. Please, can you take care of my daughter? Obito, yes, I live with Madara. She thinks she will even agree to adopt, and if you don't mind. Kushina, no, I don't mind. The main thing is that she will not be alone, and she will have a family, although it's a pity that I won't be with Naruto. Obito, I will do it so that she knows that you are her mother, but also so that Madara will be her mother too, and she will consider you both her mothers. Kushina, thank you. Her name is Zuma on the arm, and I want to say that Minato Uchiha, so Naruko can awaken Obito's Sharingan. It's clear. I promise that everything will be fine with her. Kushina, thank you. She kissed Naruko and hugged her for the last time, and she fell, and so she died. Uzumaki, Kushina and Minato Namikaze leaving their daughter in safe hands. Obito on the arm, I won't let anyone hurt you. I will be your older brother. And he went to the cave where he lives with Madara, who saved him from the rubble, and she looks young like A 25-year-old girl, and she will live the same, and all thanks to the cells and her best friend Hashirama, which she transplanted onto her stomach, and they did not disfigure the beautiful body of the kunoichi. Just now the skin is white. Obito brought the baby to the shelter and brought her to Madara, who was already lying on the bed and reading a book. When she saw Obito and that he had a little girl in his arms, she put the book down and got out of bed. Madara: Obito, who is this little girl and the daughter of Minato and Kushina? I gave food, a promise that I would take care of her and that you can adopt her because I think that you always dreamed of a child. Madara: yes, I always wanted a daughter. I'm sorry that she was left without parents, but I will become her mother and take care of her. And what is her name? Abid and Uzumaki on the hand. Madara: beautiful name. I will take care of her as if she were my own daughter. Obito: and I will be her older brother. I always dreamed of a sister, and from that moment 1 year has passed. Now Madara was playing within her arms, which she became even more attached and is glad that became her mother on hand. A mother. After these first words of the baby, Madara felt so warm in her heart that she thinks that she is now the happiest woman. Madara on hand: this is your first word. I am so glad. And then comes Obito on hand: brother Obito, that people and finally learned to speak Madara, and she called me mom. They tightly but tenderly hugged the baby, their little son, which they cherish, but do not happen that she is a daughter. After all, both of you have already discussed with Madara that they will not hide who her real parents are, but will try to make her consider Madara her mother. Another 3 years have passed, and on hand already 4, and she is a very cheerful girl. Madara loves her very much, and on hand already knows that her real parents are, and she is even glad that she has 2 mothers. Everything was fine, but then one day Madara Sabita did not keep an eye on hand, and she went somewhere into the forest, and when she walked she came across a pack of wolves, and she was very scared. Madara noticed that the hand disappeared somewhere and was very scared and ran to look for her Sabita, and so they ran to some clearing and saw a frightened baby and wolves that surrounded her and were going to attack. And then one wolf jumps right on the baby. It screams from fear. New Madara saves her and quickly deals with the wolves. Madara came up to the hand and hugged her to calm Madara: sunshine, why did you leave without us on the hand? Forgive me, mommy. After Madara looked into the eyes on the hands and was surprised because the purple line was burning so much. Madara on the hand: your Sharina woke up and unusual purple now. It suits your hair and Down's hands. Most of the hair is like bitten, that is scarlet, and only some strands are golden. What made her very cute, beautiful on the hand? Forgive me, mommy. Madara: nothing, you are still little and you are interested in everything. Another 2 years have passed, and on the hand now 6, she looks like this scarlet hair with golden strands to the middle of the back, which she grows and loves very much. Big blue purple eyes, 3 stripes on the cheeks, and she loves to wear all sorts of dresses and t-shirts with skirts on the arm. Also during this time already trained habitable May also met and was able to make friends with Q Frame, which simply could not start or get angry at this baby who shines like the sun. And Madara Sabita he accepted, although he hates Uchiha, yes, and knows Kurama that on the arm is also Uchiha, although not completely. Yes, this can be understood only thanks to Sharingan, which by the way Kurama considers very beautiful on the arm, is already quite strong, somewhere at the level of a weak genin, and from the technique she knows shadow cloning, henge and replacement. Also she has a good control of chakra. They want chakra, she has a lot of it, somewhere at the level of a strong Johnny. On this at 6 years old on the hand also throws shuriken, while her kunai genjutsu she also has not bad thanks to the Sharingan, which she is even better than usual, and thanks to it he has a good reaction. And here Madara on the hand and Obito are sitting and having lunch. Madara is a son, and tomorrow we will move to Kanakyu, and you will enter the Shinobi Academy on the hands. Well, I can find myself a lot of friends, Madara, and remember the main thing: to no one and never tell that you are a Jinchuriki, that you are friends with Kurama on the hand. I understand why, because they can make me a weapon and deprive me of emotions, Madara. And they will start calling you names, beat you, and even try to kill me. Of course, Sabita, we will always be on the alert and protect you, but still it is better not to tell anyone about this on the hand. Yes, I understood, Madara, that's good. And a few minutes later Obito came. Obito, I have not very good news. The Uchiha clan Uchiha Itachi was cut out, and only Nipples and Itachi himself remained alive, but He became a renegade, and all this is because the Uchiha clan was planning a coup and the elders with the third Hokage ordered Itachi to cut out his clan. Madara clearly means we are almost the only survivors from our clan on the hand, so I should make friends with Sasuke and drink with him next to him so that he is not alone, because I am also an Uchiha. Madara, honey, I am not surprised, but you will have to convince him that you are an Uchiha leading only black hair and eyes on the hand. Well, so what, I will show my Sharina, Madara, but it will help. Well, okay. Honey, today we will learn your poems to know what techniques to learn. I just bought chakra conductive sheets, just put them between your fingers and on the pro. In chakra unordained and the sheets between your fingers and directed and there. Chakra 1 sheet burned means katana fire, 2 cut in half means futon wind. 3 left so Raten lightning, 4 namog so sultan water, 5 tell me what it does. With the leaf I asked dat ton earth, 6 dug up king so mokuton tree. Madara angle. You have all the elements plus mokuton, this is very good, however unfortunately we can only teach you normally Kitonu because we don't even have the rest of the elements kurama, so we need to find you teachers. On hand nothing at the beginning, then I will study fire and then you can do the rest. Madara, good darling Roman's hands, you can also learn Rasengan, this technique that your father created, and it is very strong, and I think that you can finalize it, namely add the element that Minato was never able to do, and also since you are Uzumaki then you should also learn Fuin as well as the chains of Kango mustache, that is only girls have Uzumaki on hand. Guy, I will be like this strong at Ramadan, you will find out that it is very difficult on hand. Yes, I understand, because there is nothing easy and everything must be achieved by your own efforts. Urama is a good girl. You understand everything, Madara Kurama, and you can teach Naruto Minato techniques and maybe Uzumaki clan techniques at Ramada a little, but I know and can say what needs to be done, but it is not today. Madara, yes, let's go for a walk on hand. Yes, and they went for a walk until the evening, and after they returned then they went to bed, and Kurama always sleep hand. The next day Madara woke up on hand SQ Rama, and they went to have breakfast. After breakfast they went to get ready in Kanakuma. How they got ready, only Madara sleep hand Obito a few things, and at Kuro we do not have at all. Because he is a forest here at Madara, and on hand a lot of things. Obito, God yes, how long will they get ready? Kurama, calm down, they are women and they always have a lot of things, and after 10 minutes in their hands Madara came with bags and they went to K2. And this it will take about an hour or 2 hours on hand. Mom, it's you and Uncle Hashirama built this village. Madara, before the sun, me and Hashirama just dreamed of our own village and we built it, but unfortunately the darkness swallowed me and I wanted to destroy it, and I fought with Hashirama and almost died, but thanks to one technique I was able to survive and transplanted his cells on my hand. I'm glad that you're alive and that I have you, Madara, and I'm glad that I have such a good daughter. Although not blood on hand, nothing, I consider you both my mothers. Madara, yes, and I'm glad about it. Well, okay, let's not talk about sad things on the sleeves. You really hate Uchiha. Kurama, yes, I hate them because everyone who is not lazy, who has a high-level Sharingan or even manga Akira, just comes and takes control over me and does whatever they want. But don't worry, you and Madara are downtrodden. I don't hate, however, now besides you from the Uchihas there are only Sasuke and Itachi left, and if with Itachi everything is clear because he is also normal, then here are the nipples that can be a problem, because he will definitely go down the path of hatred and will be cold to everyone. Well, and since he is an Uchiha, then all the girls your age pester him and they definitely irritate him, and therefore you be careful with him, otherwise he might offend you too, and for that I will easily kill him. Naruko, clear, thank you for caring. Kurama, well, how can you not care and not worry about such a cutie? That's exactly what you just charmed me. Women, Madara, before that she had such an ability to charm people, and concrete sister, I can say that outwardly you went to your mother who eats Naruko. Before Obito, yes, she also had scarlet hair, purple eyes, and the same character, but only yours is mixed. Also from Minato sensei Naruto, I'm glad that it looks like them offended, and yes, your character is still mixed with the character of Madara. Naruto, this is even better. Madara, in short, you have adopted everything from all our parents, and so they talked the whole way, and when they reached the gate they were met by the guards Izumo and Kotetsu. And some, who are you? Madara, I am Uchiha Madara, and this is my daughter on the arm Uzumaki, and this Guy Uchiha Obito, we want to move to the ditch and somewhat, but Madara died a long time ago. And he is a man, they are women. Well, okay, I will take you to the Hokage, follow me. And they went to Hakane on the arm. Mom, and why does everyone think you are a man? Madara, well, the thing is that I hid the fact that I am a woman for more than half my life, and only my younger sister knew about it, who also pretended to be a guy until her death, and my parents on the arm, that is even uncle Hashirama did not know. Madara, no, then he would not have raised his hand to me, because he does not hit women on the arm. It is clear, but I will never hide that I am a girl. Madara is right. No need to hide it. They reached the Hokage. Izuna knocked and heard come in. They entered the office. Now is Kakashi Tsunade Fats and the Hokage himself, Sarutobi Firuz. And the zones of the Hokage-sama, they want to move to Kanak at Hiruzen. Okay, you can go. Izuna. Hi Hiruzen, can you say your names? Madara, yes, I am Uchiha Madara, this is my daughter Uzumaki on hand. But this disabled person, Uchiha Obito, and who did you call disabled? Madara, well, forgive Kakashi, what lives and you Obito and Kakashi, it is me, I saw the death of wine. And I do not blame you, because if not for this that village would have suffered. Tsunade, I mean daughter, and Uzumaki on hand, because the name of the deceased daughter was Minato, and Kushina, and she is my granddaughter on hand. What are you, my grandmother? Madara, yes, she is the daughter of Minato and Kushina, and before her death Kushina took a promise that Obito take care of her, and also that I will become her mother, and here I am raising her, and she knows that I am not her biological mother, but she does not think so, and considers both me and Jug her mothers. For Nadia, I am so glad that she is alive. Sunshine, go to grandma, and in her arms she threw herself into the arms of Tsunade, who even cried because the fact that her granddaughter is alive cannot but please Tsars. And I am her godfather. Tsunade, step aside, pervert, just come to the baby. I will bury you in the grave. I know how much of a pervert you are, and she is a girl, and you will definitely be spying on her in the future. She will definitely become a handsome man, although no, she is already a handsome man. Tsars, calm down, I was not going to do anything to her. Tsunade, okay? You can hug her in the arm, that is, he is a pervert and likes to spy on girls. Tsunade, yes, in the arm, she squealed. She did not come closer, pervert, and also a little Jira. Well, don't be afraid, I am you, I won't offend you. He carefully approached and gently hugged her. Madara, be more careful with her, she maybe it's funny and I'm going to eat it all, but she's pretty vulnerable. Hiruzen, so she's alive, that means she's also a Jinchuriki, that means the weapon is back. I'll take it and make the perfect weapon on hand. Old man, what are you talking about? With tears she asked. Hiruzen, don't you understand? You're a Jinchuriki, that means you're also the weapon of the village, and you shouldn't feel emotions or anything else. You should only follow orders. I'll put bookmarks on loyalty to the village, as well as bookmarks on limiting the mind and memory from every word he said. Everyone in the office got angry. She hand cried harder and harder. Madara pressed her in her arms. Protects Madara, you won't touch her with a finger. Hiruzen X, who else are you? Definitely not Madara, after all. Uchiha Madara, men. Madara, smoke, I'm a woman, a man, I was just pretending like my sister Izuna, and I survived the battle with Hashirama, whom I honestly loved and even now love. Hiruzen, it doesn't matter, the main thing is that the weapon returned. Tigers Lynx grabbed Jinchuriki on hand. No, please get in the center story. Romantic or Lamanual relationship between a man and a woman. NC 17 in progress. 105 Madara 0703 author. Pairing in characters in Naruto. Uzumaki, mother Madara Uchiha Hashirama Senju in Izuna. Uchiha Tobirama Senju in Naruto. Uzumaki Sasuke Uchiha Itachi Uchiha Izuna Uchiha size planned less written. 36 pages 17 parts. Tag spoilers. Description: during childbirth Pushin or was able to escape and attacked the village. Names: longing Sheena sacrificed themselves for their newborn daughter, and they with pain in their hearts sealed the forests in her. And Kushina still remains alive, but unfortunately not for long, and a man in a mask comes to her. And what next you will find out in this Alya 10 Wonders of the World. Dedication: Madara Pins Manga Akira Madara Pin Eternal Montags at Madara Pins. Publication on other resources. Check with the author. Translator view. Work in 35 collections. Awards from readers. None yet. Back content. Forward. Third part December 21st, 2020. 2340 Umbu links ran straight at the baby, who understood that she could not do anything because despite the fact that she was strong for her age, but this is Umbu and she is not his equal. She already thought that her little life would end, but Madara would not give up his girl so easily, and she defeated on Bush not to. After all, it was not for nothing that she was nicknamed the goddess of shinobi. Hiruzen was also going to do something, but then a raven flies in through the open window with a Manjikyu Sharingan Shursui burning in one eye, and Hiruzen got under Kotofa Tsukomi, and now he will not harm her family. There was a note on the raven's paw, and Madara took it and began to read the note. Oh, Madara, and on the hand before the death of my friend Shursui he gave me his eye, and the second one was taken from him by Shimura Danzo. I set up this eye specifically knowing that 3 can take the young baby upon your return, and that's why I did it, so that when 3 gets caught in the technique, he will no longer go against you. I want to ask that on the hand make friends nipples, because I think that when he finds out that he is not the last Uchiha, he will be a little happy. I wish you good luck, Uchiha Itachi. Madara, we are lucky. What is this? What for us, Tsunade, and what did this thief do? Madara Itachi set up Shursui's eye so that when Hiruzen gets caught in the technique, he will no longer go against on the hand of her relatives. Tsunade, this is good, but I'm still angry at this old man. He wanted to kill my granddaughter, Madara, and I'm so angry at him in my arms, although not my own, but my daughter whom I love with all my heart and do not want anything to happen to her, she said, pressing crying daughter of her lush breasts on hand. Mom, thank you for protecting me. Madara, sunshine, don't thank me, it's my duty to protect you from all troubles. Like Ashana hand, can I be your uncle on hand? Aren't you a friend of brother Kakashi? Brother Obito and Kakashi, I became her older brother. Kakashi, okay then, can I be your older brother on hand? Yes, I'll be glad. Kakashi. Obito, I think it's better for me to give you your eye. Obito, yes, keep it for yourself. Me with one is fine. Yes, and don't talk about it at not early still. Little Madara, well, we just have to wait until this old man wakes up and gives us a house, and didn't wait, and in an hour Hiruzen woke up. Hiruzen, I'll give you your parents' house on hand, also in a week on hand we'll go to the Shinobi Academy. Madara silently took the keys to the house, and after they went to their new house, when they approached the house there was a barrier that Akusha put up on which only family members were allowed through, thanks to the fact that Madara Sabita is close to Ruka. Then they were also able to pass when they entered the house. Then it was dusty. They looked at the house for quite a long time, and they found many photos of Minato and Kushina, as well as their clothes, and if no one needed Minato's clothes, then Ruka really liked Kushina's clothes, so she took them to her room, which she found next to her parents' room. In the room on Ruka there was already all the furniture, namely a bed, a wardrobe, a dressing table with a large mirror, a chair, a nightstand, and a beautiful chandelier, and everything was in pink or red colors, which Ruka really liked. Also Naruko had a separate toilet with a bath and a shower in the room. Madara asked Naruko for permission and took her parents' room. Ayabito took a free room in which there was almost nothing. There was none, and so he was glad that he took all the furniture with him in the dimension to whom. After they settled in, they started cleaning. After 2 hours they finished cleaning, and they found many scrolls with techniques starting with the usual ending with Fuin, and it was good because Naruko can train with the help of scrolls and chickens. You don't have to strain yourself and bring your decrepit 1,000-year-old engine to the state of farting. And in order to remember the techniques after cleaning, they decided to walk around the village the rest of the day. They had fun because there were many shops with games, and the female part was Madara, and Naruko ate sweets because they are still those sweet tooths when they came home. Then Obito in his thoughts thought only about one thing: how these women eat so much sweet and do not gain weight by a gram, and since they ate ramen and what raku, then they just went to bed, and Naruko with Madara slept with new plush toys. Although Madara wanted to give her whole two, but she said that she would be lonely one sleep here, and Madara sleeps with a plush heart she hand with a plush fox, which reminded the chickens which lay next to and was jealous of the toy to his Jinchuriki, and in his thoughts he was already making a plan to overthrow the rival, but still on hand hugged and the chickens, which undoubtedly made him happy, and they fell asleep, as did Madara, which was even nice to sleep with a toy heart. But here Obito thought a little more and strained his brain so that Einstein would envy in thoughts about how on hand and Madara eats so much sweets and remains so slim and beautiful with such thoughts, and he fell asleep. Weeks passed, and here Madara came. To wake up his chat. Madara, darling, get up, in a gentle voice she said, and on hand slowly opened her eye and began to frown cutely. Madara, you haven't forgotten that today is the entrance to the academy. On hand. No, mom. Madara, well then go take a shower, and then went down to have breakfast. On Ruka, and she ran to the shower, and after washing she dried her hair, which now reached her basin, and combed it. Then she went to get dressed and finished and dressed Scarlet shoes and left her hair loose. She went down to the kitchen, and there were already sitting Madara and both of them what they were waiting for, and when they ate then they went to the academy, and they came just for the ceremony of 3x. To her he spoke his propaganda about the will of fire. After 10 minutes the classes were announced, and on Ruka, and of course she got into the class of clan children, and there were several without clans. Having said goodbye to her brother and mother, on Ruka she followed the teacher when they entered the class and sat down. Then the teacher stood up and began to say, so I am Yumino Iruka, and I am your teacher for these 4 years now. I will call you, and you introduce yourself. I will do example. I, Iruka Yumino, I love ramen and children. My goal is to teach you, and my dream is to become the director of the academies. And so the first Inuzuka Kiba, and she came out with a puppy on her head and began to tell. After everyone came out in turn, it came to Sasuke. Uchiha. Sasuke, I have no dream, and I almost don't like anything because I don't like almost everything. My goal is to kill one person. After his stories, all the girls except Naruko and Hinata started screaming and saying how cool he is. After the pacifier it was Rakuten's turn, and Rakuten, and so Uzumaki Uchiha Naruko. After that the pacifiers, his eyes popped out, and he was, to put it mildly, in a scam because he thought that he and his brother were the only ones who studied, and then it turns out there is also some Uchiha girl, and here on the board a very beautiful girl with long scarlet hair and several golden strands with big purple eyes and a cute face came out, who had a beautiful smile on Rakuten. I, Uzumaki Uchiha, in my arms. I am not a blood Uchiha. Vidam was my grandfather, and I even have a different Sharingan. I like a lot of things, and I don't like a lot of things. My goal is to revive the Uzumaki Uchiha clan, and also for everyone to recognize the tailed beasts and the Jinchuriki child boy. Her voice was so pleasant, and all the boys in the class fell for her, and she was now the most beautiful girl in the academy. After everyone told about themselves, and Ruka said that there would be no classes today, and so everyone went home. But Sasuke wanted to talk to Ruka because he really liked her, and the fact that she was an Uchiha interested him. Nipples on hand to Nipples, can I go with you? On Ruka, yes, if you want you can have lunch with us. Nipples are good, and is there anyone else having studied? On Ruka, yes, my brother Uchiha Obito Uchiha Madara. She didn't tell him anything about Madara being a woman in order to see his reaction, and for this she had to call her mother by name, which she doesn't want because she is her mother and daughter, or call her mother by name. Not very. Nipples that Uchiha Madara himself. Can I go to him in students? After all, he is the strongest, having studied the hole with a cone. Will ask when we come. Nipples on the hand, you said there that you have a different Sharingan on the hand, and yes, it is the same color as my eyes, that is purple instead of red, and she activated the sharing. Nipples, oh, is it different on the hand? Yes, it is a little stronger than a normal Sharingan. For example, 1 volume of my Sharingan is 2 houses, and yours, or even 3 if you train, but I trained so that I have 1 like you have 3. Nipples, well, I have only 1 there and on the hand, and I have 2. They walked like that, talking, and reached the house on the hands. When they entered, then in front of them stood Obito. Well, oh sister, on the hand brother. She rushed at him with hugs. Obito on the hand, these are Nipples, yes, on the hand too. Obito, well, come in, Madara is waiting for us in the kitchen. Nipples, that is the god of shinobi himself, is now standing behind the wall. I will see him. Obito at first thought to correct by saying that Madara is a woman, but then he grinned slyly, and looking at the hand he understood and simply answered yes. When Sasuke walked into the kitchen, he was afraid and thought that he would see either a tall man with a serious face or a decrepit old man with the same serious face, but what he saw became the second shock for him. From behind, Sasuke saw a beautiful woman who looked no older than 25, and she had a slight smile on the hand. Mom ran to her mother, who happily hugged her daughter. Nipples, and where is Madara? What did I think, that I was a man? Nipples, well, yes, Madara said uncertainly, I was just hiding with my sister, that we are girls and everyone thinks that I am a man. Nipples, Clear, and can I become your student Madara only if you do not want to kill Itachi and harm my baby Sasuke. Itachi, he slaughtered our entire clan, he's a psycho and he needs to be killed. Madara without raising your voice at me. Beliefs are a good woman, but you're mired in hatred and I'm even afraid that you want to take Nora's eyes because they're stronger than the usual Sharingan and nipples. I have to take revenge on Itachi. Madara, I said without raising my voice at me, you know that you should generally be glad that we exist and you're not the only Uchiha, but as I see it you don't care and in your head there's only one place, touch. And although he slaughtered our clan on the orders of the elders and because the Uchiha clan was planning a coup, nipples, what other coups? The orders of the elders. Madara, your brother did it for you because if he hadn't done it then Danzo would have sent his people to slaughter the clan and then you would have been killed too. Like this Chow, he couldn't allow his eyes to kill. Nipples, this is not true, you're lying. Obito, nipples, this is true, this is a clock. He told me everything and gave me a copy of the documents. Nipples, then what should I do? Madara, just live and be a good friend to Naru, and this what shall we return the nipples? Okay, I'll try. And I like the hand, she's a very beautiful and sweet girl. From his words the hand blushed and was embarrassed that she looked very cute. Madara, and you make a good couple. The hand, mom, we're only 6, what other couple? Madara, but I just think that you'll really make a good couple and age isn't important in love. The hand, mom, do you love or loved someone? Madara, yes, I loved and still love to balls. The hand, that is my great-great-grandfather. Madara, yes, but all he didn't even know that I was a girl and that's why he was swept away. Just looked and cried at night. The hand, forgive me, I didn't want to hurt you. Madara, nothing darling. Okay Sasuke, it's too late and it's time for you home to sleep as well as on hand. Sasuke, good, until tomorrow. On hand, until tomorrow. And Sasuke went to his place. She hand went to sleep and an hour later Madara Sabita also went to sleep. Since that day 4 years have passed for which she hand became even stronger and now she is at the level of Chunin. On hand learned all of Madara's techniques, namely fire techniques. Also Madara found for her teachers shrouded, but Madara also trained her in this and she learned almost all the techniques except 1,000 hand true wood golem. Also on hand learned lightning techniques thanks to Kakashi, who happily trained the baby and became quite close to her. The rest of the poems she also learned, but not so much. She only learned from the element of earth. Earth, wall, water, water, dragon, and wind. She learned to pass it through. Kunai Shuriken. Also on hand learned Hirai Shin and Rasengan, which we can create with one hand. Her chakra volume is now slightly more than Johnny's. At a distance Hiroshia she has less than Minato, but also good on the arm, very close nipples as well as he with her on the arm. Over these 4 years has become even more beautiful. Her hair now was down to her hips and already began to grow breasts, which are already 2 sizes, and a waist is forming. If someone thinks that breasts of the second size at 10 years old is too much, then it is food. And no, just because she is a Jinchuriki then the body is formed faster, and kurama is involved in this. Here is an old sheet also on the arm. Now wears the same clothes as Kushina during the Genin Academy. During this time Obito was restored as a shinobi of Konoha and he is now Jonyang. Madara did not want to be a shinobi, she had enough and she just wants to be sleep arm, but if on the arm is in danger then of course she will fight. And today is the last day of the academy and the arm comes into the class. But what about the children? Today is the last day, but the exam for Genin will be in 2 years and you have a choice either to continue going to the academy and study to definitely pass the exam or to train at home, and guess whether you can pass or not. Some self-confident who decided that they will pass the exam without problems left, but still many decided to stay on the arm. Well, what about Sasuke? Another 2 years and we will become shinobi. Nipples, given we have nothing to do here because you and I are much stronger than the others. I stayed only because of you on the arm. Well, we have nothing to do these 2 years anyway, and who said that we are very strong? Yes, we are strong for our age, but there will always be someone who will be stronger. Nipples, yes, you are right, and this one is stronger. It is your mom on the arm. My mom may be strong, but there are those who are stronger, and I am sure of it. Diane said. Nipples, yes, you are right on the arm. Nipples, believe it is not even about strength, it is just a matter of how strong was not one person, but even he will lose thousands of people. Nipples, they're smart. You, well, that's too smart. On hand, thank you. Nipples, it was not a compliment. On hand, no, it's a compliment. Nipples, they're okay with you, it's impossible to argue. problematic women on hands, and after the academy they went for a walk and they took Shikamaru Choji with them and on Sakura and if the future 3 and Knife and Jock went only because they are good friends for Naruto and Sasuke well and more precisely the best friend on hand. Then Sakura went for nipples too. Him. Get brains nipples because she thinks that on hand is her main rival. However, nipples can calmly say that Sakura is not a rival for on hand because there is no one better on hand. They walked for a long time and Sakura really got everyone. And Sasuke got tired of it and he reached on hand by the waist and kissed so that Sakura understood that he only needs on hand and no one else on hand from the actions of nipples and blushed and then began to break free, but physically Sasuke was stronger and therefore nothing worked out for her. And she responded to the kiss, haha, they kiss at 10 years old. Wow, I hope the site will not be banned for this so the site knows and the world of shinobi, and here it does not matter how old a person is, here the age of majority is much earlier than in reality, so this is normal. After the kiss Sakura ran away in tears and Sasuke was pleased with the result on the hand and the topic that it was nipples that she had already gotten me and it was necessary to show that except you I don't need anyone on the hand. That is, it was also a confession. Nipples, yes, but if you didn't like it then I won't do it anymore on the hand. Yes, no, I liked it. It wasn't for nothing that I started to paint my lips. Nipples, yeah, so it didn't seem to me that your lips tasted like strawberries on the hand. Yes, I painted my lips with strawberry lipstick. Nipples gasped one. It's already late, so it's time to go home and a knife and I'm swinging until tomorrow. And they parted and Sasuke like a gentleman spent on the hand home, after which he went to his place. Entering home, Naruko met Madara with hugs. Madara. Oh sunshine, well, like the last day of the academy on Naruko, but it was not the last day before the exam for a day and for 2 years, and we were given a choice either to become an academy or to train at home and in nipples, and most chose to stay. Madara, it is clear, but I am still glad on Naruko. And by the way, mom, nipples, today Madara kissed me for the first time. What and how is Madara? Yes, how dare he on Naruko? Mom, everything is fine of course. At first I was surprised, but then I answered him, so you shouldn't be angry with him. Madara. Well, if you say so, that okay. Well, okay, since everything is fine then let's go eat and then sleep on Naruko, she shouted and threw herself into mom's arms. They had dinner and went to sleep. The next morning on Naruko woke up and went to the shower, washed and put herself in order and got dressed. She went downstairs where Madara was already and was preparing breakfast. On Naruko, good morning, Mom. Madara, good sunshine. Having had breakfast, she ran to the academy, and Naruko said that they would study a lot these 2 years, or rather study the theory that no one needed but what to do, and so 2 years passed, during which Naruko regretted what was left, because it was boring there and there was nothing new. She did not recognize nipples. All these 2 years he prayed to Naruko for them to leave the academy, but that was too stubborn, and during these 2 years, Naruko had hardly changed, only her hair became a little longer and her breasts grew, and at the age of 12 she had a third-size chest, and her figure had already begun to appear a little, and finally the exam for the day, where all those who had studied at the academy these 2 years had gathered, and those who had left. The exam was easy. The first stage was a written test, where there were easy questions that Naruko easily answered. The second stage was throwing shurikens and kunai, and the best were on hands and Sasuke well and Shikamaru, but he is too lazy and therefore in strength is weak. And here is the last stage, is henge and illusory clones, where everyone passed but Naruto and Sasuke surprised everyone by creating shadow clones, but on hand surprised more because she created several clones which few could, although on hand could make several hundred clones because her chakra volume is now like a horse, and so everyone passed the exam for Genin and announced the teams all as per canon. And when Naruto and Sasuke found out that they are on the team with Sakura, they were very upset. Sakura was glad that she was on the team with her. Nipples Kunav, and here in the class there was only team 7 left, and Kakashek comes into the office. Well, oh, waiting for you on the roof and clones now. She hand Nipples quickly appeared on the roof, and after waiting for Sakura to come, Sensei began, and so introduce yourself and tell what you like and what you don't and your dreams. And goal Sakura Sensei and show an example. Okay, I'm Kakashi Hitaki, what I like. What I don't need to know, and dreams and goals will not be interesting to you, and now you. Shodhi times Sakura's hair. I'm Sakura Haruno. What I like this, but I. Like she looked at the nipples and squealed, I like them different in Kakashi's arms. Okay, now you showed he's a pump. I'm Sasuke Uchiha. I don't like much and. I don't like a lot, but I'll say this, I like one girl who is a little Uchiha and I admire her mother Uchiha. Madara, I don't like those who pester and annoy with the word Sasuke-kun. My goal is to return one person and I'll keep the dream to myself. Kakashi, okay, well now baby you're ours, now it's your turn on the hand brother, but don't say that I'm embarrassed. Sakura, I mean. Baby sensei, what are you saying? This is, just a pathetic clownless girl. Daughter, once she has such multicolored hair and eyes after her. Words, tears started flowing on her hand because she loves her mother's, and when she insults her own mother she gets very upset. On her hand, my mother is not, unlike yours and in general from the clan Uzumaki Uchiha and Senya, these are the three strongest clans not counting Helga, she screams with tears and near. The academy. Madara was passing by who heard the scream of her baby and immediately moved to the roof of the academy. Madara. Nora, what happened? Who offended you? She asked, hugging her girl. Sasuke, Sakura, shut your filthy mouth, and if you say anything else about her or her mom dad stupidly, because at least you will forget about a career as a shinobi. And Sakura fell silent. Madara, realizing who offended her baby, came up to Sakura. Madara, what did you say about me or 8 nipples? She said that Kushina, Madara, how dare you say such a thing? Okay, I forgive you for the first time, she said, hitting Sakura hard in the stomach. Something twisted from writhed in pain. This is a warning about next time I won't be so kind on hand. Mom, everything is fine. Madara, I will still stay because today you are just getting to know Kakashi and she became next to as on hand. Okay, I on hand Uzumaki Uchiha. I love many things, but most of all I love my mom and dad and also my brother Obito and my brother Kakashi, perverted hermit, and my grandmother who often plays with me and trains me in medicine. I don't like lies, narcissists, those who put the mission above comrades, because comrades and friends should come first and then the mission. My goal is to revive the clan Uzumaki Uchiha and Senya dream I will keep to myself. Kakashi, well okay, tomorrow we meet at training ground number 7 at 900 hours and don't be late, and also it's better not to eat. And he evaporated into sushi. Madara, well my dears, let's go home, let's celebrate your restoration. Jenin and Sasuke, come with us too. Sakura, Sasuke-kun, can I have nipples with you? Why are you asking me this? We are going to the house in the arms, and Madara, they are in mine. So ask them, but I would answer no on the arm. Of course we are a team, so you can go with us home. Madara, well if you want, what, yes, and she went home to on the arm and Madara, and when they entered from there stood Bida, who was waiting for the girls with flowers for the arm for the fact that she became Jean, but Mom Dory just for the company because she is a girl. For her it will be pleasant. Obito at first was surprised that not only on the arm with Madara came and not only nipples, well another pink-haired girl who did not move away from the nipple and pestered him. Obito, Sasuke, why is she a prize and tet for you? Because you already have one Nora nipples and you try to peel it off. Me, I would give you 1,000 roars. And after they ate, and Sakura felt uncomfortable being here because everyone here except for each other did not recognize each other. She does not know anyone here except for Ryu and Sasuke, although she does not even really know them. After dinner Sakura went home and Sasuke stayed until 10 p.m. Went home and everyone went to bed. Team 7 carried out only ranked missions for a month, in which they caught cats, plowed both vegetable gardens and all sorts of such things in the village, and Ryu pacifiers. It was boring on mission X. Sakura was not very good because for her it was very difficult. By the way, about Sakura, Ryu was able to make friends with her and they even communicate well, and Sakura apologized for the words that she said about her mother. Ryu forgave them. Ryu pacifiers often trained and began to train Sakura a little so that it was not a burden and could somehow fight back. Also Ryu went to be a student to her grandmother, that is Tsunade, this with joy and strong but with gentle hugs. Agreed, and potential on the hand. Big one day on the hand dragged Sakura with her to training with Tsunade, and the princess slugs agreed because Sakura has small chakra. Normal techniques she will not be able to do, but here and wounded are always needed, and for this you only need good control of chakra that she has. Because a small reserve of chakra and it is much easier to control it than the same reserve on the hands and on the hand the reserve of chakra is colossal for her age and control is also good for her and here one time in the office of the Hokage there is a team of 7 key waiting for a new task and on the hand decided to ask the old man for a more difficult task. Naruko, old man, can you give us a more difficult task? Otherwise these boring nipples. I agree with her. Hiruzen, okay, I give you a task of rank and you need to accompany the bridge builders to the country world that zone san enter and an elderly man in a straw hat and a cheap sight who was drunk. Then Juna and these children will accompany me, especially this fat with golden hair and purple eyes on hand. You don't like something about me? Then Juna, no, on the contrary, you are too good for shinobi on hand, believe me, I strongly. Hiruzen, that for us she is not the strongest genin in our village. Kakashi, dav, they will cope. And besides this mission with rank and there at most bandits will attack us and shinobi. We will not meet. After his words then to father on and I jerked that the eye of the Uchiha did not go away as much as I will sometimes say Uchiha. After all, on hand is also an Uchiha, although she has in clouds only Sharingan, but this does not cancel anything. Kakashi, okay, we meet in an hour at the main gate. Day of others, oh, and they dispersed to collect everything necessary and on hand of course sealed everything and she even took food and here at the main gate Team 7 is standing. Then from the zone and Madara who came to see her daughter off on her first mission outside the village. Madara, dear, be careful and don't go hungry on hand. Houses, I took a lot of food so I won't die of hunger. Madara, well that's good. She hugged her baby and kissed her on the forehead although they were almost the same height. Madara was only a couple of centimeters taller. Madara, how fast you're growing, it seems like just yesterday Obito brought you and I became your mother and now you're 12 and you're going on your first long mission, she said with tears, although these couple of tears are even partly because Madara has a daughter, although not her own, but a daughter who knows this and still loves and calls her mom, and this is the most important thing and on hand is the most precious thing Madara has and she will do everything so that nothing happens to her. Naruko, well mom, don't cry, she said, hugging mom. Okay, it's time for us. Madara, good luck. Already, sweet, happily, she said. Team 7 left the village and heads to the land of waves where they have to escort the customer. They have been walking for 2 hours and on the road they saw a puddle and no one except Kakashi, Sasuke and Naruto paid attention to it and in vain because it hadn't rained for a weekend. There simply couldn't be a puddle on the road and so they pass a puddle and jump out of there too, but shadows on and with chains they tear as much as on the hand brother tied she, but quickly realizing that this is not the real Kakashi she calmed down and quickly attacked the enemy together with Sasuke. Asakura remained to protect that zoom and so on the hand with Sasuke thanks to training defeated the brothers. After came to porridge and having tied up the nuke Nina they began to wait and a minute later they woke up and Kakashi began to pull information out of them. He found out that they were hunting for that moon and knocked them out and he himself went to the basin. Not this one told everything. The team decided to continue the mission, although in Kakashi's head he thought that if something happens to Snara then he will not forgive himself and the one upholstered will not forgive him and will hate, and Madara with Tsunade they will kill him at all, and therefore he prayed several times and went. Team 7st from the zone reached the river and there a boat with a man was waiting for them who took them to the other bank, and there they went further and at one point a white rabbit ran out of the bushes and a huge sword flew at them. After him Kakashi, everyone lie down, he shouted, and took that zone and Sakura she hand nipples themselves bent down and this sword flew over their head, stuck into a tree, and on its handle stood a man all in bandages. Kakashi, one of the swordsmen of the fog, Momochi Zabuza, demon of the bloody fog. Zabuza corner, I am impressed that you know me. Copy ninja or Sharingan. Kakashi, Kakashi Zabuza, mine, you guard that zoom, and he began a battle with the burden where they were on equal terms, but at one point Kakashi fell into lava and Zabuza caught him in a water prison on his hand. Nipples decided to act and attacked the clones of Zabuza which he was made on the hand. Quickly dealt with the clowns and ran to the original, and she Nipples were able to distract him. Kakashi got out of prison and continued the battle as here in the neck Nuke Mean and Singen flies and he falls from the bushes. Come out by the appearance of the Ingashnik of the fog and with the words that he has been looking for him for a long time, left taking Zabuza his sword. Kakashi after the battle lost consciousness and in his arms and his body to drag, but when she took it she realized that it was too heavy for her. Because she is a small fragile girl, he is a healthy strong man. Then Juna, seeing that the girl can barely stand because of this, Boar decided to help and he himself dragged to the porridge, and so they reached the house. Then from the zone where they were met by his daughter Tsunami. One day passed and Kakashi woke up and he said that Zabuza is alive because the umbu of the fog is always they cut up their victims, so he assumed that this on-bush nickname his assistant. A week passed during which Kakashi trained the team a little, but most likely Sakura it learned to walk on trees. Also they met Inari grandson from the zone who was rude to them and told them to leave because they would die. Kakashi always after Inari's words prayed that nothing would happen to the dream hand because he still wanted to live, although if something happened to the dream hand then he would do extra key. And so a week later the team helped the builders and made sure that no one attacked, and then fog began to thicken on the bridge and the team immediately realized who it was and began to evacuate the builders. When everyone was evacuated then they went out for cargo with Haku, with whom she met in the arms one day in the forest, and so the battle begins where Kakashi was against Zabuza and Sasuke against Haku because on the hand remained in the house to guard the family that zone. And when she defeated 2 robbers then she ran to the brain. When she ran up she saw how Sasuke in the dome of ice mirrors fought with Haku and Kakashi fought against Zabuza. Naruko immediately ran to help Nipples and she herself law break the mirror, and Naruko at one point captured Haku in an illusion where they agreed that Haku would pretend to be dead because Naruko understood that he was ready. Instead of paying would decide to eliminate them, and so Kakashi wanted to Pearsall forget, but he stops Naruko and tells them his plan and how HS Zabuza, and they agreed, and so Haku lies dead and Gata comes with his bandits. Date approaches Haku and starts kicking him. Gata, that's what he deserves, otherwise he broke my arm and how could you lose to the kids? On Zabuza, I won't pay. And then Haku opens his eyes and attacks Gata. Zabuza was already near Gata and cut off his head. Then they dealt with the bandits, and here Team 7 comes to Zabuza and Haku and sees that Haku cut his clothes and his chest was visible and female breasts of the 3rd size like on hands. Haku, you are a girl, she shouted in surprise. Haiku, why yes, embarrassedly she said, covering her charms on hand. I was wondering why you are so feminine. That's why, Haku, forgive me for deceiving you. Everything yes, nothing Zabuza, I said, and that it was a bad idea to pretend to be a guy, but she said no, it will be better. Yeah, better. Yes, you also painted your lips so it is easy to find out that you are a girl. Haku, well, forgive me Zabuza, them I am not angry with you, and let's be informal, otherwise you are like a daughter to me. And that's how On Hand found another girlfriend, and Zabuza and Haku decided to go with them to Kanak because it is better there than in the forest. Saying goodbye to June and his family, Team 7 Zabuza and Haku went to Kanak. While the company was walking to the village, then Naruko talked to Haku the whole way and found out they had a lot of Kakashi talking Zabuza when they arrived. Then Madara was standing at the gate waiting for her baby Dan. Ruka 12A Madara calls her baby. Although in height not much, a hand is smaller, but for Madara she will always be her baby. And so when they got closer, Madara ran from the window Ruka from and also ran to his mother, and they hugged tightly because they had not shared for 3 weeks. Madara, sunshine, I missed you so much. Naruko, I am also a mother. Mother, look, this is my new friend Haku. Madara, nice to meet you. X Cube Haku, and I am pleased. Kakashi here. Madara, sleep. Ruka, everything is fine, she is safe and sound, so don't kill me. Madara, so why do you think so badly of me? Not me, of course. If something happened to my little princess then I would really kill you, but still you think too badly of me. Kakashi, forgive me, I just know how much you love her, that's why it seems that if she even makes a squeak or has a scratch on her then they are ready to tear apart the culprit. Madara, yes, but I will tear apart anyone. But if nothing happened to her then don't say what Kakashi said. Now okay, and they went to the Hokage to hand in a report and register Zabuza and Haku in the village. Everything went well because thanks to whom from bitches Hiruzen not only can't do anything against Naruko her family but also can't refuse her anything, and since then half a year has passed during which Team 7 completed many missions of rank D and a little rank C. Also during this time Hoka, Sabuzu and Konoha got used to it well, and Haku found many friends and she often goes with Naruko and other girls to walk other sources by the way on. Sources all the girls envy Naruko and Haku because only they already have breasts of the third size and if Haku is already in. Basically adults and her breasts are bigger if they grow then by half a size then on the arm then she is still very young and her breasts will grow even more also during these 6 months on the arm nipples trained. And became even stronger and on the arm learned the tree techniques but they are not as strong as Hashirama Madara and Moto's also soon there will be a birthday on the arm. And Abidos matter and many dear people help them prepare for it very much. On the arm Madara went to a clothing store with Tsunade to choose gifts for her beloved little princess Jira and also looked for something for her goddaughter. For the whole time no one said anything on the arm and therefore she often asked what was going on but no one and nothing to say even Kurama who is always somewhere out. Of print to Kishasa Bida together they looked for gifts for their little sister and they even go all over the land of fire in search of the best gifts Hokusabuzu and they also go everywhere and look for gifts but it is the hardest for them because they almost don't know her and what they like they also don't know but fortunately Haku more or less understands what is needed but at least she knows exactly what and in no case should you buy all friends and girlfriends on hand are also getting ready but not so much because the gifts they buy are quite simple everything decorates the restaurant that Madara rented for the evening and they did everything in their favorite colors on hand namely pink purple ala or red and orange although she rather fell in love with orange because of Kurama because it is orange yes I know that it is a red rug but red orange because you can say the same everyone is getting ready for the birthday on hand and even in one shelter one snake is getting ready for this day who wants to make the best gift and he knows which one because living parents great-great-grandfather and his brother and sister 2 mothers. Although the snake does not yet know that it is a sister thinks that it is a brother and all this will be the best gift for the young princess in one of the rooms of the shelter there is a snake and 5 victims who were ordinary apostates he uses one of the forbidden techniques created by the second Hokage and in front of him there are gifts of transmission Maru are standing 5 people that he resurrected and this is the first Hokage Hashirama Senju 2 Hokage Tobarama Senju. Kushina Uzumaki 4th Hokage Minato Namike Zazuna Uchiha Minato what is happening Tobarama that someone played with my technique Orochimaru.oi. Resurrected you Minato Orochimaru well why Orochimaru just tomorrow it will be my birthday and will be 13 years old and wanted to make such a gift in the form of you. Sean in hand my baby how is she Orochimaru you yourself tomorrow will find out well and I use another technique that I found in a very ancient scroll and it allows you to resurrect the dead but in return I will spend all my chakra and pass out until tomorrow and when I wake up we will immediately go to connect you and he used this technique and everyone was completely resurrected Orochimaru passed out Azuna what is going on she is still pretending to be a guy so I would also like to know about Tobarama but we will find out everything tomorrow and they just went to look for rooms for themselves and went to bed when everyone woke up it was early morning and Orochimaru just now woke up but was weakened Orochimaru well let's go and they threw a cloak over themselves and went to Kanakyu and when they got there they went to a restaurant that was rented for a birthday party in their arms when they entered it everyone immediately noticed that everything was in pink purple and orange colors when they passed they also noticed that there was no one but it is understandable because it is still dark and everyone is still sleeping and so they noticed that a girl with long thorns and black hair with a lush chest and quite short in a beautiful dress ran into the restaurant and everyone understood that it was Madara because there was something that was very similar and that's why Hashirama Stabber and Maya Crap Eli Madara came running with some pink decorations and signs she hung the decorations on the ceiling for which she had to stand on the table and then began to lay out the signs while she was laying out the signs she noticed strangers and became wary but approached her Madara and who are you Orochimaru Madara? Clear what are you doing here today is my girl's birthday and I doubt that you will do anything good for her Orochimaru Nunu Madara-chan don't you want to see who is hiding behind these hoods and cloaks and Madara approached the first one who was a head and a half taller than her and slowly began to take off his hood and when she saw who it was She stepped back and fell to the floor and he started to cry. Madara, ha ha ha, Shirama, she said with tears, and looking at the others, they also took off their hood and there were Tobirama, Izuna, Minato and Kushina. What is this dress? She asked Orochimaru. Is it true? No, it's not an illusion. Orochimaru, no, it's not an illusion. Used to techniques and now they are completely alive. Madara, Izuna, little sister, you are alive, Izuna. And as I understand it, you can no longer pretend to be a guy. Madara, before Tobirama, Izuna, what are you? Also a girl, Izuna, you need to, she said. Cute spikelet Tobirama and Hashirama. Well, we fought with girls all our lives and didn't know about beta. Tobirama, I killed a girl. What kind of guy am I who instead of protecting girls killed one? Hashirama, Madara, tell me. What do you feel for me? Madara, Hashi, I loved you since childhood, and when I found out that you married Mid, and then my heart broke and I cried at night, and only on the hand could I make me happy. And even though I'm not her real mother, but she considers me her own as well as the jug. She said she was crying lying down because she thought that he would yell at her now and maybe even hit her. And although she knows that Hashirama doesn't hit girls, and he can hit, but Hashirama saw the girl's reaction, he only came up and gently hugged her and taking her by the chin kissed her sweet lips. Hashirama, I love you too. And loved you. Didn't say that because I thought you were a guy and it's wrong, but now I understand everything. Madara was surprised at first, but then she responded to the kiss and hugged him, and he put his hands on her thin waist in a proprietary manner. Kushina, Madara, where is Madara? In her arms now. She's still at home and speed, and in the evening we should celebrate, but I think that you can show up now because it's still a long time until the evening and you won't be able to hold back. Madara's ears. Well then follow me. But before she could take a step, she was picked up in her arms like a princess. Madara, Hashi, let go, I can go myself. Hashirama Danu, on those slender legs with high heels shoes, I won't let you go anywhere else. And the zone looked at this and was happy but also upset because Tobirama and won't love, but suddenly someone picked her up like Madara. Tobirama, Izuna, I won't let you go either. Izuna, what? Tobirama. She rushed at him and started kissing. Madara also kissed Hashirama, and now he was all in red lipstick because Madara had painted her lips. They walked to Madara's house, covered in arms, slowly because two guys carefully carry their beauties and there's no need to hurry, but let her sleep a little more, it's good for her. When everyone entered the house, then Kakashi, Obito, Jiraiya and Tsunade were sitting in the kitchen who, when they saw who came with Madara, who went to finish with the decorations, they were in deep shock because in front of them were Hashirama, Tobirama, Izuna, Minato and Kushina. Tsunade, Grandpa, Minato. At home it's both of us, only Silence Hand is still asleep, he said in a whisper, hissing at everyone. Jiraiya, but how is that possible? Madara resurrected them. Orochimaru, I myself have not yet recovered from the shock. Tobirama and Hashirama, and we have not yet recovered from the shock of realizing that Madara and Izone were a girl all this time. Madara, Izuna, and why were Hashirama and Tobirama? Forgive me for being girls, we will definitely be drinking all evening and night today. Obito and Kakashi, we too, after seeing that you are all alive, this is a show. Echo, how will Hand react to Fats? I think she will squeal with joy, but that's if one red fox does not say, and yes, after all he definitely felt you. Kushina, it's you about the nine-tailed Fats. Yes, they call him to uranium, and yes, Hand made friends with him and now he is like a pet. Well, or just a family member. Hashirama, Madara, why are you standing still? You haven't even taken a step like I did to you. Let go. Madara, well, what do you want? I'm actually wearing heels, and if I walk I'll definitely wake you up on. Hand, she hissed at her stupid future husband. Hashirama, forgive me. And then everyone heard that the door on the second floor opened and closed, and everyone looked at the stairs and saw how Scarlet Loss and a Miracle were going down it, and when they were resurrected and saw, and they immediately thought a beautiful princess or an angel on Hand. She went down and was dressed in her nightgown from which the male part turned red, and they started bleeding from the nose because he and his hands, his chest is almost open, and the nightgown itself is quite frank on Hand. She didn't notice the new guests and just went to the kitchen to cook breakfast. When Hand turned, she froze from shock and also turned red, and either from shock or from anger, although more likely from the first because there are so many people. She is in a frank form. However, having looked at the people, she realized with shock who they are because there are a lot of photographs in the house and her parents, and therefore she immediately recognized them about her great-great-grandfather and his brother and sister of her second mother. She recognized because she also saw their photos on hand, ran to her parents with tears, mom, dad, Mina. Longing tears and tightly hugged their miracle, and Minato even had tears well and about Kush and well in general. You can keep quiet because she burst into tears hugging her daughter on hand finally. I really have two mothers. Madara also came up to him and hugged him in her arms. Hey, Madara to the son, you now have two mom and dad. They all cried well like the female part of the family, but Minato only sheds a few tears because he is a man and girls can cry because the main thing is that from joy they are sadness on the side of everyone who stood there also had tears because this is a beautiful picture, like two adult girls and one man hugging his baby. Izuna also cried from happiness because her sister is now so happy that she is crying, but suddenly Madara grabbed Izuna by the hand and pulled her towards herself, and now Izuna was also hugging. After a few minutes Minato calmed down and walked away from the girls' men. Mina, Tom, and what a handsome man we have, and Hashirama and Tobirama. Yes, it's definitely Hashirama. Well, what's the truth? Let's drink together for happiness and for me and my brother. Came in and Minato. Yes, even if they kill me later, but it has to be done. Yes. Your mother, do you even hear me? And everyone turned their heads and saw the forest with nine tails, who was annoyed that everyone was ignoring him in the arms of forgive Urama. Yes. Nothing, I'm happy for you and I want to ask for forgiveness because it was because of me your parents died in the arms. No need to apologize. If not for this I wouldn't have two mothers and I wouldn't be surrounded by so many loved ones, and you are also part of my family. Urama with thank you with tears, he said, because her words were very nice, and he ran up to the girls and jumped into their arms. And Uranium, how nice man. Envy silently said he was between the beautiful breasts of four beautiful girls. Hashirama, what a sly fox, how I want to be in his place. And at that time Tsunade, unable to restrain himself, also hugged her hand, and now five handsome men hugged and hugged one impudent forest who was just going crazy after emotional hugs on hand. Also hugged her great-great-grandfather with his brother, and also the second time Izu. Well, after all, and Zune and her aunts on hand. Dad, I already awakened Sharingan. Minato, yes, at such an early age. And how did you awaken it on hand? I just left a few years ago while mom and brother were distracted in the forest, and there I met a pack of wolves who wanted to pounce on me, and I got scared, and then I awakened Sharingan, and if it weren't for my mom I don't know what would have happened to me. Minato, I knew. And what can you do with you, and can you show your Sharingan? And on the hand activated Sharingan. Minato, hijack, you have purple. Tobirama, that is, she is Uchiha, and so Tsunade, he is like your son, and it turns out that you got pregnant from Uchiha. Tsunade, yes, I just once fell in love with one guy from the Uchiha clan and we started dating, but on one mission he died and I was pregnant and did not have time to tell him about it, and when Minato was born I could not be with him because he reminded me of him, and that's why I gave him to an orphanage and gave him the last name Nami Katsuv Minato, so that's why I grew up in an orphanage. Tsunade, yes, and if you do not forgive me and do not accept me as your mother, then I will understand with tears. She said, Minato, I am not angry with you, I understand you and I consider you my mother and nothing will change my opinion. Tsunade, thank you, and they hugged Madara. Well, okay, now we will just walk until the evening and do something on hand. Yes. But I need to change you. Aunt Izuna, also crazy that you don't need on hand, but you won't be in baggy men's clothes, so you will put on a dress. Izuna. Okay, and they went to change and Madara gave her sister one of her dresses, and when they went down, then in everyone's heads there was only one beauties, although for the most part two on hand, but Izuna also looks very beautiful on hand, did, and lace underwear, scarlet dress with gold inserts and a cutout along the left leg, a cutout on the chest, stockings and high-heeled shoes, and also painted her lips in red lipstick and eyelashes with mascara, and left her hair loose. Madara, well, let's go everyone. Yes, and they went for a walk around the village and met Nipples, who when he saw on hand blood started coming from his nose and he blushed like a lobster on hand. Nipples, she screamed and jumped to him. Someone Klimovshers caught her after they all went to the source where he stayed until the evening, and they went to the restaurant where they were supposed to celebrate the birthday on hands. When they arrived, then all the friends and girlfriends on hands were already there, as well as everyone familiar. When they went and they saw that everyone was painted in their favorite colors on hands. Madara and tried for a long time to paint this place on hands. Mom, I Love you so much Madara, I love you too sunshine, don't forget that now you have two moms on hand. Ya Hashirama, okay let's go drunk Madara, and this is us celebrating the birthday on hands, and no need to get drunk here Kashira Mamadi-chan, just don't say that you won't drink Madara. No I won't, because alcohol is not very good for girls because it spoils our beauty Hashirama. Okay. You are our beauties, you can me stain, you will get drunk and you can't dissuade us Madara there. Okay men. Do what you want, only then don't come to us pester. And everyone sat down in their places because Madara laid out cards with names so that everyone knew where to sit, and so everyone had fun and ate well. And Hashirama stabber, and we drank sake not by the liter but by the whole barrels after all the realization that they fought with girls all their lives is a very big shock, well, and also that they killed them. And even though Madara is alive, but it is only thanks to one technique, and so Hashirama killed her, and it adds fuel that these girls never killed, but at least did not kill Sejuani. They were killed and they just understand how disgusting they are. But after 2 hours everyone decided to give gifts for Naruko first. Friends gave after, and insults from poop and a hole with Tsunade, and in the end already Madara, and she had a lot of gifts, both clothes and jewelry, and among the jewelry there was a very beautiful crown, which meant that Naruko is a princess of several clans. Naruko, I love you all so much. Especially you mom and dad and brother and grandmother with godparents, aunts, and about great-grandfather with tears of happiness. She rushed to hug her big family. Everyone had fun until the night and then went home to sleep. And in the house of Uzumaki Uchiha Senju there were many rooms, so there was enough for everyone, and everyone fell asleep soundly. And Madara slept with Hashirama and hugging her soft toy Azuna together with Tobirama, but Madara wanted to return the room of food and Minato, but they said that there were enough rooms in the house, and there was another big room where they placed. The next morning Madara and Zona woke up in the arms of Hashirama and Tobirama, but only they held them by their intimate places. Thoughts of Madara and Zona, what a pervert, but they were not against, because the main thing is that they are together, and now they will not fight against each other in reverse together. Although it is embarrassing that they put their fingers in the pussy, then put their hands on the butt, then take the breasts. Madara with Anzun, and immediately understood that they cannot be given a drink, otherwise they will leak every morning and wake up with their fingers in their pussies. Kushina woke up not in the best position because Minato put his head between her breasts and his hands on her butts on hand, and Obito woke up and everything was fine with them because they sleep alone. While Kurama spokes on hand, but he does not warm, and he is like a pillow, although sometimes he can touch her breasts with his tails. When everyone woke up, then the male part walked around with a sore head all day from the alcohol that they drank yesterday. The female part only avoided them because they are still a little drunk and can do anything. A month passed and they announced the exam, the name of Chunin, and everyone of course signed and agreed to it. On hand came home and saw that everyone was at home. On hand, in a week there will be an exam for Chunin. Madara, yes, well, and you agreed? On hand, of course, yes. Minato, well then you need to prepare Madara. Minato, she is already ready because in strength she is definitely like a Chunin, and maybe even John of Menoth before Madara. Yes. On hand, yes, I know many techniques, and also I have a very large reserve of chakra and control, and don't forget about chickens. Minato, well, okay. On hand, then we will spend a lot of time with you about that, and a lot of time wasted because of the fact that we died. On hand, and no alcohol. Understood, especially this concerns you men. And what will happen if they attack us and you are drunk and cannot protect us? Hashirama, and from whom to protect you? Yourselves. You can kill anyone. Madara, darling, we are actually girls and we need to be protected because we are weak. Hashirama, yeah, weak, well, and all the representatives of the fair lemon hit him on the head. Oh, Tobirama, well, brother, you are stupid. I will gladly protect the moon, and you have to protect several at once, namely Madara, Tsunade, and on hand. Hashirama, one hand, why does she have nipples? And Minato, Tobirama, all she is your blood and you must protect her. On hand, great-great-grandfather does not love me? With tears she asked Hashirama, no, darlings, I love you very much. Well, don't cry, I will protect you like Madara. Chair. On hand, thank you, and she threw herself on his neck. Hashirama, don't thank me, baby, with care, he said and stroked her head. Yes, we have a family almost only of women. Few men. Well, okay, that's okay. Madara, yes, no, there are as many men as there are, even more of us. If You count chickens kurama Madara. The thing is that the tailed ones are lemonless houses. Then Toby considers the only woman among us, but if we take it in general then she is lemonless, but she is still considered, and the rest of the men are Madara. Well, that's good, otherwise I was afraid that you might. While Noru is sleeping, stick your bolt in her, but you don't have it, so I'm calm kurama. Oh you, __. It's offensive actually Madara, what did you call me? And even with a child in your arms we don't call you Cupid, and it's her own fault, you shouldn't have said such offensive words, and just close your little mouth and be silent on Ruka. Anyway, she didn't call you names and you called her names, and also very rudely kurama. Okay, everyone forgive me Madara. Madara, okay, apologies are accepted, but forgive me too, you should understand that I'm a girl and I don't understand your men's affairs. Rama is the same as I am your women's Madara. Well, my mouth is small too because I'm a girl after all the girls are like that. Hooray Madonna on Ruka. Yes, Cube and Fox looked at all the girls and yes, they all have small mouths. Kurama, I understood everything. You only have breasts, hair, eyes and big butts, and so you are miniature. Sorry if insulting girls, I'm just writing as it is an anime and nothing bad. I don't think about you at home again. Forgive me all ladies, and by the way, you're still that pervert. And so time passed before the exam, and when the whole team 7 gathered near the building where the first stage would be held, Sensei wished them luck and disappeared into the chinchillas. Not the team passed into the building on the second floor. They noticed lips, and there were a lot of genin near the office. There were 2 guys guarding there who were bullying children, on the arm of this illusion. Sakura, why did you take it on the arm? We need to go to office 301, and it's on the 3rd floor. Now we're on the 2nd, okay, boys, let us in, she shouted to both sides, but they didn't want to let them in, and Sasuke decided to fight, because the fact that they refused as girls was unforgivable, and so their fight began, but it didn't last long, because a guy in green tights appeared between them. Hysterical under a pot and thick eyebrows and round eyes, who stopped their blows. Nipples, and who are you? I'm Rock Lee, and your youthful strength just shines. And he quickly appeared near on the arms. What's your name on the arm? Uzumaki in arms. Lee, let's date. I love you on arm. No, I'm already taken and I have a boyfriend. Lee, and who are the nipples? I or what? Let's fight for the heart of this beauty. Nipples. Choirs on arm. No, I only love nipples, and your fight will not give anything. Will I still get you, and you will become mine on arm, and that is. You are literally saying that you don't care about my feelings. Do you at least understand that from you I will definitely never give birth? I will make you on arm. Yeah, I will close my uterus with chakra, and you can't do anything about it. Of course I will not do that to you so easily. Not Domsky. Okay, you won, and I will leave you alone. And 2 more people approached them, one girl with 2 handles on her head and a guy from the Hyuga clan, because he has. I'm running to Lee, we are the same. Wanted not to show up. Don't forgive Niji, I just saw a pretty girl and wanted to show off to the lead. Tin, but as usual from a Niji, will you tell him something? Niji, no, I don't care, and in this exam this year there are weak participants, so we will definitely pass. Nipples, and why did you decide that we are weak? And Naji, and who will allow such a girl to the exam? You can tell that she is weak. And then Niji felt a cold on his neck that someone was standing behind him. Also he noticed that this girl had disappeared, and turning around he saw her and the kunai that she holds on his neck in his hand. Don't you dare underestimate a person only by appearance, because it can play a bad joke on you. No, lived alone, I will take into account in my hand. Well, okay, we went, and they calmly walked to the 3rd floor, and their kakas met them again. Well done, I had no doubt that you would be able to pass because the illusion is weak. Well, now when you enter this office the exam will begin, and it won't be easy, so I wish you good luck. Oh yeah, there's a note for the pacifier, and he gave the note to Sasuke. He started reading the note, and after reading he started shaking the note of the pacifier is Madara and the rest and relatives. If something happens to the hand during the exam, and if even 1 hair falls from her head and I see that there is even a scratch on her, then we will punish you all, and so that you will remember it for the rest of your life, because we will arrange such torment for you that it will seem like heaven to you. We wish you good luck, and tell her on the hand that we love her very very much. Naruto, pacifiers. What are pacifiers? Oh, nothing, they tell you that they love her very very much. This is from your whole family on the hand. I love them too, and you Pacifiers well, and they also wish us good luck on the hand. Okay, let's go. And without saying goodbye, Kakashi went into the office. The first stage was written and the examiner was Marino Ibiki, who when he entered the office threw out his K and many genin trembled, but not the pacifiers of the Hand of Sleep and a couple more teams, because they saw them at dinner as if on hand did not see it. Just she herself is strong and Kurama helped, so it is normal for her. And Becky, you will have 10 questions. The first 9 questions will be written, the last one I will ask you at the end. You have 45 minutes to answer. Also, it is forbidden to cheat, and if it is noticed that someone is cheating, then he and his team will be disqualified. And the exam began. Many were quietly cheating, each in their own way, but she hand-wrote the answers herself because she knew them, and Kurama helped Nipple, seeing that his girlfriend was writing the answers, decided to cheat from her thanks to the Sharingan, and cheating is not good. A girl's voice sounded. Nipples even twitched from this. I began to shake my head in all directions. Nipples, did not you recognize the voice of your girlfriend? Can you speak mentally? It's something like the technique of the Yamanaka clan, but a little different. Nipples, on the hand, it's you don't scare me. So on the hand, well okay, so why are you writing off my nipples? And what can't be on the hand? You can, but don't look through my clothes with your Sharingan. Okay Nipples, or you don't confuse the Sharingan there. I'll run away. Gunnam on the hand, and what yours can't do. So my Sharingan can see through objects and clothes. Nipples, so you can see through clothes on the hand? Well yeah, what do you think? Would I date someone who has a small stick? So I looked and saw that you have big nipples. You will suck this stick from me and jump on it. I understood. Naruko, only after a few years, namely somewhere around 16 nipples come on there, right? About that, and we won't have time on the hand. Okay, otherwise we really need to hurry until the end. I feel a catch. And so 45 minutes have passed. And Becky, and how time has passed? I asked to hand over the sheets and all the chunin, and which watched the exams, collected tests. Well, it's time for the last question, but first I'll say that those who doubt can leave and try their luck next time, and if you stay and answer incorrectly, then you will no longer be able to become a chunin and will lose the right to take this exam. And so those who want to leave, raise your hands. And many raised their hands. Vitka, which Marina launched, it was frightening, and many were simply afraid and decided to leave. And so somewhere half of the participants left the exam, and Biki, while those who remained passed the first stage. All that a Biki was a test. This stage should test how well you can get information and also your fortitude. And those who remained passed this test, although among you there are those who will definitely pass the exam because even now they are very strong. For example, this girl with stripes on her cheeks, she already looks like a strong chunin or maybe a weak jonin. And then a girl flies in the window, and so suckers I am. The examiner of the second stage, Madarashi Anko wallpaper. Becky, you are getting old. So many people have passed, and Becky, there are just a lot of them this year. Strong participants. Anka, clear. Well, what come after me? And everyone went. Umbrella. Everyone came to some forest. Anko, and so this is the forest of death. It was created by the first Hokage with the help of the element of wood. It is inhabited by a bunch of all sorts of crap that wants to kill you. They will give you a scroll of heaven or earth, and your task is to find the missing sweater. You will need to sign papers that we are not responsible for the fact that you were hurt or died. And at that moment the nipples twitched, because now he needs to watch his hand very well so that nothing happens to it, otherwise he will meet his parents. Everyone signed the papers and took the scroll. Our team had a scroll of heaven. Ankon, that the exam was starting, and the gates opened and everyone ran into the forest where many people will suffer. Team 7 ran through the forest, and they have not met any teams yet. And so they decided to make a halt, and on the hand went to cook dinner. While on the hand was cooking, then she felt another team approaching, and it was not the team from Konoha, so she became wary and said about it, Sasuke, Sakura, Naruto. Sasuke, Sakura, some team is approaching us, so be ready. Nipples, good. And after a few minutes the sound team comes out to them, but team 7 quickly dealt with them, but they had a scroll sky, and so they ate what on the hand cooked, and Sasuke thanked her, and Sakura began to envy because she does not know how to cook. She is not only able to cook, but she cooks very well. After an hour they got together and went on, and they met the team Fiska, but decided to go around and went on. Team 7 had been walking for several hours but did not meet anyone, and then some guy with shoots attacks them, but on the hand she found out that it was because she read a lot about him, and I like men whom I see the princess of the Uzumaki clan and also with the blood of the Uchiha, also the prince of the Uchiha clan. I first wanted to take Sasuke-kun, she is on your hand, Chan is stronger eyes and more beautiful it seems so on hands, who are you man, QQQ, and I told Sasuke you will touch her, only over my dead body man, but it will be easy to arrange. And the man summoned a large lizard and she went to the nipples but on the hand from near him, and the lizard swallowed on the hand, disappeared in smoke man, but it was easy, so goodbye. And the man used the reverse summoning of substances, and when he appeared in the cave there was already lying on the hand unconscious, and the man took her to his lair to examine and conduct an experiment, and however when the man had already taken the scalpel and wanted to cut the girl, then she disappeared in a cloud of smoke, and the man realized that it was a shadow clone man here, __. In the clearing where the boys were, the man Sasuke sat on his knees and cried because his beloved kidnapped and he couldn't do anything, and he didn't care that his family would kill him for it on the arm, because he understood that the man would kill her and he wanted to go for his beloved, but then from the bushes comes out on the arm absolutely whole and unharmed nipples, knocked her down and pressed her nipples to himself. How good it is that everything is fine with you. I already thought that you would die on the arm. Calm down darlings, it was my clone I hid in the bushes. I would never set you up and myself. After all, in the future I still have to give birth to children for you nipples, that is, you already want me to be your husband before on the arm, and where will you go? And besides, I only love you if I'm going to get married then for you. Well okay, let's go further, we still need the saints of the land and then their towers will have to go. And they went further in 2 days. They didn't meet anyone, and so they decided to go closer to the tower in the hope that there would be more teams there and one of them would have an earth scroll, and they were right there on the hand, felt a lot of teams, and they went to the low team on Hewitt with their they didn't want to fight. Team 7 came and met the rain team and dealt with them quite easily, and they had the necessary sweater and they went to the tower, but on the way they met the sound team of Cinema. What a girl, and you are beautiful, and your hair is long on your hands, you also have long beautiful hair, only your teammates unlike you are disgusting. One has tubes in his hands as I see. The other is generally all rewound and some kind of thing on his hand that enhances wind techniques. Desu from and the smart Kents just wanted to find a girl with luxurious hair to ruin their kendo, but she complimented my hair and I don't want to harm Dosa. Clear, well then we'll just take the scroll and go. And they began to fight, but as they demolish nipples and body with tubes in hands, she hands skin can, and you are strong and I cannot defeat you on the hand. You are also nothing, but I think that you should be a medic wedge. Do you think on the hand to press you have a small reserve of chakra, but at least you have good control, and this means that it will be easier for you to be a medic, but only you will still need to study. But with good control of chakra it will be easy. Ken, okay, I will try and thank you. And on the hand knocked her out and thought that Ken is a good girl, but in the village of sound it will be bad for her, especially now. So on the hand sealed Ken and decided to talk to her so that she would stay in Konoha. After on the hand finished skin, she went to Sasuke because 1 against 2 and not even weak shinobi was very difficult, and only on the hand they were able to win. Yes, they just ran away while forgetting about Ken. What was on the hand so, but this is already even funny on the hand, although I think that this is written separately, but after the victory, if you can say so, over the sound team, Team 7 decided to spend the night in the forest and then early in the morning go to the tower. The next morning Team 7 came to the tower and there was no one there yet, and when they opened the scrolls, both Kakashi's hand and Madara's hand appeared, and I congratulate you. You were the first to arrive and that's commendable. Kakashi, yes, you're great. Madara, Noru, nothing happened to you. Well, some guy with appendages attacked us and he kidnapped my clone and wanted to experiment on me. The tilt developed as soon as he cut the scalpel. And Madara, what about Sasuke? What are you like? You didn't protect her, but what if it wasn't a clone? A real one? Do you at least understand that she could have died, but everything after exam I won't leave a single living place on you on hand, my dear. I'm glad that everything worked out with you nipples. It only remained to be surprised at the rapid change of Madara's mood, because she spoke with anger at him. Everything as soon as she moved to on hand she immediately became Angel's Naruko. Mom, I felt Uncle Hashirama's chakra in this man. Madara, Hashirama, is it really the heart? But I thought that I destroyed everyone on hand. What are you talking about, Madara? The thing is that When I awakened the Rinnegan, I summoned the statue of Geto Maso. White creatures began to appear from it which were made from Hashirama's cells, and I destroyed them because I was disgusted that some creatures were made from the cells of my beloved on hand. It is clear that this man is this Zetsu Madara. I think that Hashirama is here with us to press, and I don't remember that Hashirama had any appendages, and he had something else on hand. Yes, he summoned a big one lizard Madara. I have never seen such a call. Well, okay, Noru, it's time already, and until this stage is over then you can't leave the tower. Madara kissed her hand on the cheek and they left, and Team 7 went to their rooms. Well, like Sasuke and Naruto in the same room. Asakura from several days passed and the second stage was passed and only half of the teams passed it. Yes, some had small injuries and also on hand. Noticed that some girl from Suna was very shabby and upset. Her hair looked strange, and on hand realized that Ken still cut someone's hair and decided to ask Ki on hand. Ken, this girl's hair was cut off. Kenneth, I just grabbed her hair, which was not long anyway but to the shoulders, and she herself took kunai cut it, and I started to apologize because I didn't think that she would do this, and I felt ashamed on my hands, but at least they were to the shoulders. They will grow back quickly, unlike mine and yours. Well, okay, I'll go already, otherwise the next stage will be announced soon. All the teams gathered in the arena which is in the tower and waited for the Hokage, who did not keep himself waiting and came pretty quickly. Hiruzen, so I congratulate you on the past stage, and since there are many teams left, there will be an intermediate stage where a certain number of people will be eliminated. The opponents will be shown on the screen so that I could go to the screen, and those who will be shown will have to go to the arena and fight each other. You can use everything, the only rule is not to kill each other in front of the genin. And the examiner came out and announced the first pair of sound movies against Shikamaru. Nara from the Leaf. Ken and Shikamaru remained in the arena, the rest went to the stands on hand. Asked for an error to be a softer skin, and Shikamaru just grabbed her with shadows, and Ken, I couldn't do anything and gave up the rest of the fights, whereas per canon only and on didn't cut hair, and there was a draw. Sakura well, and in the battle on hand against Kiba, on hand quickly defeated him because it's not for nothing that she trains with her family in which almost everyone is by the power of Kage, especially Madara and Hashirama with Kurama, and Tsunade taught to soak hands and feet with chakra, which greatly increases the force of the blow that even the earth goes. Went after the fights. Hiruzen announced that the last stage will be in a month, and already announced who will fight also as per canon after that. On hand saw Orochimaru. This is that he suits the team. Sound Orochimaru, well, you lost, and you know if skin I won't do anything because she became friends on hand. Then I'll work with you worthless people, and I don't care that it's because of this that I became a renegade, because now I'll just work on the trash and you can go. Ken ran Windows hand and they went for a walk, and on hand suggested moving to Kanak, to which Ken agreed, and also Ken was given an apartment which was quite large and already furnished because Hand herself asked for it, and Hiruzen of course can't do anything about it, and therefore does what Youngheim wants.